ZMS is it's going to show admin and the last person that logged in. So, you know, if I had logged in before and it said Frank, it's going to show admin and Frank. People always say, well, you logged in and it's only you up there. Okay, that's okay. Hit forced restart. You can put your own username and password in there, and it'll stop and start whatever that is. Then you can use your own password. I have people call me weekly. Like, I'm stuck, I can't believe it. Will hit force restart. Where? To the right of login. And I swear to God, they're like, I don't see it. I'm like, you see login?
Does it happen to be
to
555
right.
aviation?
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's shocking to me, but it happens everywhere. Another thing I'll tell you now, every 90 days you have to change your password. If you change your password and you're already logged in somewhere, so like you go into reports and you're already logged into alarms, it won't know. So this is what you do. When it asks you to change your password, just do this. See restart ZMS? Just hit start ZMS. That is going to close and open everything up, so that way when you change your password, all the modules know. That's a really common mistake. I once every 3 months I do it for everybody. I hit stop ZMS, start ZMS, and then wow, magically their password works again. Because what will happen is you'll literally go from like alarms to reports to SPM, changing it, and nothing knows what you're doing. So it can get frustrating.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you noticed that, so if you hit start ZMS, you have start and stop. You only have to hit start, because it'll stop everything. And then I hit the back button to get back to the normal screens here. I'll show you this real quick. As an admin, and I'm pretty sure you gave them all admin rights.
Yeah, there's nothing less than that anymore.
Well, you can customize something.
Okay.
If you only wanted people to use like alarms or key
Or
cards,
just
I can do that for you. Yeah. So once I've done that from the admin screen, you can see how this all changed. I hit Start Explorer, and you'll be able to see all this beneath. So that's if you wanted to get to normal Windows screens, turn the computer off, restart it, maybe you're saving files somewhere. This is what it looks like otherwise.
Okay.
So if somebody came in there that doesn't have the admin password, this is all they can see. They cannot get behind the scenes. So once again, you would go your own password. That changes. Start Explorer. Now you can see the regular Windows.
So you're able to use your USB and save
Absolutely.
like reports, download them, and all that.
You can plug it in,
Okay.
see where you have it.
Only for admin, okay.
Yes, exactly. And other things. I mean, if you're familiar with computers, you can do everything you'd want to do on this computer. But just remember to hit Stop Explorer and back, and then all the regular stuff is still there. No one will be able to use the computer but you. Let's go over reports, which aren't that bad, really. Oh, I've already made favorites, or he has. Okay, we'll just go down the list. We have 3 different credit card. This one, we don't really need. It's okay, we'll leave it there. 3 different credit card reports. You click on it, you choose what car park you want to look at. Obviously, there's no credit cards
On residential. Yeah.
If you hit today, both of them will turn to today. Let's go back to March 1st. I know we should have some tests on here. So this particular report will show
The breakdown.
the breakdown by card company. And let's see. I can jump to the last page here. So you go to last page. Okay, so apparently we're doing $1 tests. So apparently we've done about 11 tests here. the last couple of weeks. And so what it'll do is it'll break it down by credit card, by date with this particular report.
Okay.
Then you've got this one which shows all transactions. And it really breaks it down by ticket number, when they came in, when they exited. So this report can get really big.
Mhm.
But if you really wanted to break it down and compare it to like your exit tickets, it's a really good report. And it also breaks it down by card type. These are mine. You guys need money off me. Already, I want my money back. Them I don't care about. The Amexes. Credit card outstanding report. Normally you're not going to see this, but every once in a while someone will say, well, the bank says I made $2 more than what your report says. This is where you'll find that extra $2.
Oh, okay.
It just didn't process, didn't get there. Maybe it's going to batch later, but that's where you'll see any of that. This one's really the same as the first one. I don't think we really use it. Oh, the difference being, sorry, this one is going to show you by station. So it's
Okay.
going to break it down by station, then credit card company, and how much.
Okay.
Midnight money statistics, validation tracking. It's going to be hard. We really haven't used any validations, but I'll go over it. Programming is going to tell you how many validations you made. Usage is going to tell you how many were used.
In the whole facility.
Exactly. And then
Okay.
you can sort them. So car park obviously always going to be the same. But you can sort them by customer and account and where they were, where they were used to get real
Okay.
complicated. So I mean, I would just kind of just go by customer. Then you could see how many were used by each
Each
customer.
customer.
I don't know if anything's going to show yet. Not sure if we've used any. Oh, we have.
Oh, we have.
Okay. So we tested 3 all days on 3/22. Okay. So you can see the date they were used,
Mhm.
the time, and what station they were used at.
Would this be the report that we could use for bill back?
We can, and that's why you'd have to group by customer and account, so each page would come separately.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can also use, not to jump around, rebates by day.
Oh, okay.
So if we go to coding station, this is account 1, account 2, and account 3. So now we'll jump back. So let's just look at account number 3, and it'll just show you the all days. And that's kind of like a grand total. It wouldn't break it down so nicely. So some people want it broken
Broken
down.
down,
Some people don't really
Just a
care.
grand
Just show
total.
me.
Okay.
If you leave this blank, it's just going to show everything. So it doesn't really matter. It'll separate them by page.
Oh, okay.
Since we're talking about validation by site is just an overview of everything.
Okay. What you?
Somebody else has a weird parameter file in here. I wanted to ask you this, and I know he's asked you guys a couple times. So far, you guys have 15-minute, 1 hour, and all day. And that's fine. And I'm opening up a can of worms on myself here. But if you want to track who used them, you need to create validations, separate validations. I don't know if you're just going to sell them, and you guys are going to track who you sell them to.
Well, the goal, from my understanding, is eval.
Got it.
Yeah,
Now
so-
eval, obviously when eval comes, we'll have to set up
Right.
separate counts for everybody.
Yeah.
And they'll use it that way, and then you'll be able to track them that way.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just generalized.
Right.
You wouldn't know who used what.
Mhm.
You would just say, oh, I used 4,000 15-minute validations. I have no idea who used them.
Yeah.
So okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That works.
I just sent you the form,
The rate.
the rate form again, so if you can get that filled out for us. You got it. Appreciate it.
Midnight money statistics is an overview of everything. So you would check ID station. You could do it for any group of time, a day, week, month. And thing about midnight is it goes from midnight to midnight, so it will not show you today until after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back again. So each page will be a different machine. For whatever reason, it adds the monthly, so obviously there's going to be no. I don't know why they do that. Monthly. Okay, so you'll have like one exit. You could see credit card was used, $1. It'll show the validations used, what their value was, and then get to a pay station. Same thing with the pay station. Cash, it'll show you the cash. It's the only one's going to show cash is the pay station. You'll have the credit card value. You'll have a total. You'll have the total validations, the value that was used. And then the second to last page will be the total of everything. So you'll be able to look at the second to last page and go, okay, this is how much cash I collected. This is how much in credit cards I collected. And you should be able to take the credit card one and match it to your credit card report. So it's just a nice overview of everything. And then this last page will total everything up for you too as well. So that's people use that commonly.
Mm-hmm.
This one, net fees by station, no credit cards. All it's going to really show you is the cash collected, because you're not going to collect any cash at the exits. So I'm not sure you're going to even use it. So those are going to always be 0 at the exits. And the pay station is going to show you how many tickets you collected and how much cash you collected.
Okay.
Payment details gets really, well, payment details you're almost going to use for auditing, or if you wanted to find out what happened to a specific ticket. It shows every transaction. So you can look at it at ticket number, when they came in, when they exited, what they were supposed to pay, what they were rebated, and then what they did pay. And then it'll show you how they paid as well. Cash here, credit card here. So it goes into a lot of detail for every ticket. It shows you when they came in, how they paid, if it was fully validated, partially validated. So if people want something broken down a lot, this is the report to use. Plus you can use it for auditing, you can use it to check on somebody's specific ticket. You know, I paid too much or I double paid. Well, you can actually look up my ticket number and see what happened. We went over rebates and validations. This one is good. Number of payments by tariff by station is a super long way of saying how many $2 tickets, how many $4 tickets, how many $6 tickets. That's all it does. So because the rates aren't correct, we can see at this station there was, one $1, 3 $1. That's all we've done is $1 test everywhere. So as the rates, are worked out, people start paying, you can break it down that way. I don't know if you guys transcribe these reports to your own reports. You
At
do?
times.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that. Like, here are
Yeah.
the reports right here, just
Yeah.
take it. So yeah, you'll use
Client,
that.
yeah.
It's easier to break down that way. It's okay, I had this many $2 tickets, this many $4 tickets, this many full tickets. You'll use that a lot. Cash station statistics, that's the report that was in alarms. That tells you. Obtain data from newest equipment. That tells you how many coins and cash are in there. It'll also tell you what's in the safes. You showed on the coin safe. Are you guys taking coins?
Yeah.
The
It
box,
looks
Okay.
like we are.
PlayStation.
Okay.
yeah, the box at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And that's just for overstock coins, right? Because it recycles the coins?
Yeah, I mean, most likely never gonna see a coin inside of the safe. So you can see here, nothing's loaded. It breaks it down, nickel, dime, quarter, dollar and dollar tubes,
I didn't know.
apparently.
Dollar coins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, we'll have to verify it and see. If not, I'll have to change this. It's probably just better to have more quarter tubes than anything.
Mhm.
So, right now, apparently this is set at $300 and $500, so it thinks, it's full, but it's not. So we'll have to we'll have to go over that when you guys figure out what you want to put in. It depends on how often you're going to check it and fill it. I mean, you could probably get away with 201s, and then 305s, 400, and let it go for several days. It just depends on how much people use it, and a lot of people don't use cash anymore, as you guys
Yeah.
know now. Okay, these break down tickets and monthlies. So if you choose ID Station, unfortunately there's not going to be a lot to show you, but all movements by day by station is a really detailed look. If you look here, each one of these is a day and how many tickets were pulled, how many key cards were used. That's SPM. I don't know if you can see that. I can hardly see it right now. And then it'll show you exits, how many were put in by hour. 15 test here. How many key cards were used, and then the total differences. So it's more counting. See when your busiest hours are.
Mhm.
This one by hour, so you can only choose one day at a time. But so each one of these columns is, midnight to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and then you can break down and see when people pulled tickets to come in. When this one would be key cards, third column, and the same thing with exits. How many tickets were put in by hour, and how many key cards were used by hour. So not sure that people will need that. Sometimes management wants to see it.
Yeah. Sometimes they ask you for a
When's the
report.
busy days, when's the busiest peak hours. This one you're going to use, rather than the old style of pull the first ticket in the morning, you can just use this report. So ticket entries and exits. So you choose a car park, choose today. You can see that entries is check marked, so we're just going to be looking at entries. What it will do for each machine, I don't know what day is good. For each machine, let's go to something that has.
Sorry, could you stop for a second? I gotta change the battery.
Yeah, of course. I know I go fast, so it's a good thing you guys are recording this. You like rewind, play, rewind,
All right.
play.
I kind of know most of it.
Yeah.
Because I worked on this.
If you've worked with it, it hasn't
Yeah,
changed.
it's just a reminder.
It really hasn't
It's-
changed.
yeah,
I mean, it's like, the software gets upgraded, but it gets upgraded more for credit card compliance. The style hasn't changed, the reports, a couple of them changed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's all the same.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, here. So, on this particular day, the very first ticket pulled was that number.
And you could program the ticket number.
Well, no,
No?
how do I
It gives you
explain
an
this?
automatic ticket, right?
It gives you an automatic
Like a-
ticket. It starts with a 1, which means that's E1, entrance
Okay.
1. So that so far, that was the first ticket pulled, that was the last ticket pulled, so 11 tickets were pulled from E1. Go to the next page. 6 from E2, 11 from E3. So on your reporting, if you have to transfer it, you can just write, that's the first number, that's the last number, 11 tickets. If you want to look at exits, unclick entries. then it'll actually show you when the ticket was inserted and if they paid anything.
Mhm.
So there's A11, A12, and A13. Oh, and A14. Okay. Oh yeah, there are 4 lanes. I guess we haven't pulled any tickets from E4 yet.
Probably not,
Yeah. Okay.
because that's the one that they've been using for main egress and
Right. Okay. So
Is that this one down here?
over there.
Oh, over there.
Oh, got it. Isn't that? Oh, okay.
Downstairs.
This is 3, right?
Yeah.
Still confusing to me because I don't know the street names. So that'll
this
show you a
is
breakdown of when
3.
tickets were used.
Mhm.
Ticket presence. This can help you with your counts. Remember I talked about in alarms being able to manually adjust the counts.
Mhm.
Ticket presence, if I put in today and choose IV station, it's going to show you how many people are inside the car park right now with tickets.
Mm, okay.
So I could actually look at that early in the morning, look at that, come here to counters and put in 1, because that's how many tickets were pulled.
Mhm.
And boom, your counts will be correct now.
Okay.
So it's a cool way of not having to walk around and count cars.
Right. Not the old-fashioned one.
Right. So now you know how many people have, are in here pulling a ticket. Now I'll skip down here, season parker presence, same thing, but with key cards.
Mm.
Okay, 1 test. We just did probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody used their card. Anyway, okay, 1 person's in here with a key card right now. Same thing, you can go to alarms, counters, L300s. L300s is key cards.
Keep right.
Put in 1, apply. Now your counts are on.
On
So
track.
It's,
Yeah.
I would check that every once in a while, especially if something goes offline or they're still doing construction, they're letting people in and out, it can mess you up. And what happens also is people will pull a ticket and then come and get their key cards or something, and then the ticket's kind of stuck in the system thinking you're still here when they're not.
Mm.
Okay, back to reports. Season free parking, sorry. Free parking is people that have come in and out under the grace period. Not sure there's gonna be any, there won't be any. What's your grace period, 10 minutes?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
10
Probably
minutes?
15.
Let me know.
15.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can
I'll get
create
that.
it. So that report's just showing you the people that came in and out, maybe deliveries or people didn't mean to park here, didn't find a spot. Season parker movements, so season parkers is key cards. You can use this to look up an individual card. In this star pattern here, the star pretty much ignores anything before, and then if I put my card, and another star ignores anything after.
Mm.
Let's see if I've used my card here. No, I haven't used it. You could track one person's card activity. So
Okay.
somebody says, hey, when did so-and-so come in and go out for the last month? You can go back 1 month and use that. If you leave that just star, it's
Mhm.
gonna show everybody's card
Everybody.
usage. Okay, so we have the Caesar tests. So you'll be able to see all activity for the whole
Mm.
car park. I don't know if you noticed here, you can break it down again. You can break
Okay,
it down by
fine.
customer, you can break it down by group. So that way it'll separate it out, so you just don't see everybody all in one line. Which is exactly what that report is. Breaks it down by customer, breaks it down by group. So when we get to the next area here, key cards, I'm gonna show you how you need to create groups for everybody in order to separate them out. So right now you just have residents and new tenant tags. So it's kind of a broad range. Okay, and we went over season parker presence, which is just all key cards that are in. I believe this is all you're going to use, but these are all financial reports, just broken down in different ways. These are all movement reports, so some of them are just tickets by hour, tickets by day, entries and exits, key card entries and exits by day, by hour. There's a lot of reports, so you're welcome to play with it if you want more details.
And then you could just move on to your favorites.
Exactly, here's how you would do that. I like to copy and move rather than actually move, so you would right click, hit copy, and then scroll up and place it where you want to place it. Now I've just made a copy of that, so you know, if you want to go up to favorites, you would place it in favorites. Now you have it in your favorites as well as where it belongs. Some people, I've seen them just move it and then can't find it again.
Yeah.
So you've got, all these are key card reports, all these are occupancy reports, so there's a lot of reports. You know, just mess around.
And
You
see
know, you're
which
familiar
ones
with
are-
the system, so mess around if you want to. And then if you need something that's not here, most likely it's already been done. So hit me up. We have a lot of customized reports that will probably be what you want. Then you don't have to pay for them if I already have it.
Okay.
If it's really customized, I'm gonna make you pay for it. Okay, let's go to fun key cards. Don't worry about that, there we go. So, customers is another word for companies. And then within that customer, you can make up separate groups. So maybe you want to divide people into reserved, non-reserved, however you guys want to do it. But this is what I would say. Right here, you put your mouse there, it's going to say create customer. It's going to give it an automatic number. If you wanted to break them down by suites or use your own numbering, you can. Otherwise, it's going to auto-generate. So you're going to see 3 here. Let's say test company. Okay, now you can see there's no groups or cards set up for test company. You can see it here in the overview. I like to highlight it, create group, and call it the same name as
The customer.
the customer. Because when you get to reporting, if you don't give it a name, it's all just going to say default, default, default. So when you go to look for reporting in groups, if I close this and open it, you're now going to see test company in there. That way, if you ever want to break it down, this company just wants their movements for this month. You know who the company is. So even if you say, even if it's reserved, non-reserved, in the name itself, let me just say you can double click in any section to get into more detail. In the name itself, I would put test company reserved, test company non-reserved, so that you know what company it is, and you can separate them out.
So right here, we would unclick residential if it's like retail, correct?
Exactly.
So they don't have access
Yes,
to
exactly. And the way to do that, the easiest way to do that, is when you're creating them,
Oh,
at
do
the
it
top
there.
level, do it there.
Okay.
That way.
And then I'll just
Right,
transfer.
it'll carry over.
Okay.
So, you were ahead of me, but you knew you were talking about. Of course, this is where you can put in all the details of the company.
Yeah.
double click here, you could put in more details of the group. Are you going to ever have, like sectors? Are you gonna have like times where people can't come in, or is it more gonna be 24/7? If you have a card, you have access?
I believe it's gonna be 24/7, but I'll get
If
that
not,
information.
I can create access policies, and they're not
Okay.
super complicated, but I can create them or show you how to create them.
Okay.
And that's why you would have other groups. Okay, the day group, or weekends only.
On weekends only.
You know, and then
uh-huh.
you'd have to label them weekends only, and you have to choose the group that you just made up, you know. Okay, so we're in, you can see the highlights here, they're kind of faint.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in test company, you're in this group, you put your mouse right here, create card. So to begin with, it's just gonna ask for the most standard. So test. Let me see, so that's the first and last name,
Mm-hmm.
the card number. So as you can see, it's generated the very next number. 'Cause
Right.
this is the last
It's
one that was in
already,
there.
uh-huh.
So that's fine. All the tags and stickers have a facility code of 0.
Zero.
So this would be correct. So I'm gonna hit apply.
Annoying.
Especially for him.
Oh, for the
Yeah.
camera.
It's gonna show up on the camera.
Why is Frank's face lighting up?
Yeah.
So you hit apply, boom, you've created that card.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can go into great detail with it, so we're gonna double click. We can put in phone numbers, you know, the color, the make, the license plate. And this is where, if you want people to have the license plate feature, this is where you would put it in. So license plate, you put their plate in. Now, let me step back. We've created just a tag only, so only the key card is gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted their license plate to work, let's change it. You click on this again, and you would choose license plate
Or
tag.
tag. Oh, okay.
And if you use license plate or tag, it's going to be the same as you can only use one or the other.
Oh, okay.
If you say license plate and tag, well then, like, anti-passback won't work correctly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so this way, license plate or tag, you get one in or one out per that person.
Okay. Well, I think residentials don't have one in, one out.
Yeah,
It's
doesn't
on,
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for them
we
it
have to
doesn't matter.
unclick that.
Right.
Ignore. Okay, but just for the, okay.
Right, so that's how
Like
you
for
make
if they
that.
have a key card,
So if they have a key card.
it works the
and-
same way?
And they wanna use their license plate, if
Mhm.
you wanna give them license plate, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's, you know, it's just a cool new feature. You don't have to
Yes.
roll your window down. It's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's kinda cool. People
Especially
behind
when
you are
people
like,
are
"How'd I
running.
get in?"
Uh-huh. Especially like when people are running late and they're trying to find their key card, and if they read
Yep.
their license
Oh,
plate,
look, it
they.
opened.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then let's get into some others here. So now you see that it says license plate or tag right here.
Mhm.
You can do a start and end date. If not, just keep it blank because it will expire after the month or whatever. You can see that it's active. Whenever you add a new card, anti-passback is just going to come up as ignore once. What that
Mhm.
means is whether they're coming in for the first time or going out for the first time, it ignores it and lets them start using it.
Okay.
If you want to make a master, put never check.
Mhm.
That way they can, you know, you can use it to let people out as many times as you want.
Mhm.
Otherwise, ignore once is just the same as one in,
One out.
one out.
Just remember, residential is never checked.
Yes.
Residential shouldn't matter.
Yeah, but it's free out, so.
I know, but I've designed those
Oh.
to not tear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? So I could
Yeah.
just leave it as ignore
Uh-huh.
once?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. I've
So I
created
gotta
a,
change the battery.
yeah, I created a pass-by station,
Okay.
which means it's not looking for if you're coming in or out. It just thinks of it as opening the gate.
Okay.
I don't have any tape. That's gotta be annoying on the camera.
Okay, so
Wet
then
paper towels.
It'll be easier for them so they don't have to be